Some people mentioned to me that they enjoyed the stories about Khadro Rinpoche. So I thought I would start this morning sharing another story about Khadro Rinpoche, especially because Lama Yeshe gave a very nice teaching this morning about bodhicitta, love and compassion for others, unlimited love and compassion for others. And this story is an example of when a great master really has a pure motivation of love and bodhicitta for others. Oh, hi Lobo, Limon Soda Light, how are you? So when a great master really has a pure motivation of love and compassion for others, it can be a very powerful and transformative energy. So this chapter is called Khadro Rinpoche Pacifies a Blood Feud. So a violent blood feud had broken out between two fierce nomad tribes living in adjacent valleys of Markok and Golok. Upon hearing about it, Khadro Rinpoche climbed all the way up to a high pass on the mountain ridge that separated the two valleys. Khadro Rinpoche proceeded to lie down on his back in the middle of the narrow path, right in the dirt, not speaking to anyone, pretending to be asleep, with his head resting on a small bag as a pillow. Anyone who wanted to cross over the pass from one valley to the other was forced to step over his body. According to Tibetan custom, it is extremely rude to step over anyone at any time, especially while wearing shoes. Khadro's physical position itself was forcing every traveler to carry out this insulting action, which made them all upset. In addition to their natural annoyance of having some stubborn, shabby-looking beggar lying down in the middle of the path, blocking everyone's passage. For some days, Khadro Rinpoche simply lay out there in the dirt in the middle of the road. But the whole time, Khadro Rinpoche was meditating on bodhicitta and compassion and loving kindness, while the people were passing back and forth, showering him with continual abuse. They didn't know who the vagrant was. As they did so, Khadro Rinpoche prayed on behalf of each and every traveler that their disturbing negative emotions be pacified immediately. Eventually, every person involved in the blood feud had crossed over the pass at least once. Therefore, stepping over Khadro Rinpoche's body and receiving his blessings. And as if by a miracle, the nomad tribes suddenly settled their feud and made an agreement, avoiding any further bloodshed. This is also an example of crazy wisdom, which we've talked about the last couple of weeks. Now, if you or I go out and try and practice crazy wisdom, we will probably get committed to the loony bin. So maybe we don't have the level of awareness yet, the level of wisdom and compassion yet to practice crazy wisdom. But this story is an example of somebody who did. And just through the power of love and loving kindness and compassion, was able to transform the negative emotions of these two feuding clans and pacify the region. So sometimes we feel we don't have the skills or the power or the energy to help others, but never underestimate the power of love and compassion. So in Khadro's commentary on the Red Tara practice, today we're going to read about the meditation for the dead, which is another example of the power of love and compassion. Rinpoche used to say that the most important thing when we're praying for others, especially the deceased, is to have love and compassion in our hearts. Beings that have left this physical shell are said to have 7 to 10 times more sensitivity. So imagine now if somebody looks at you funny or says something strange to you, how you feel affected by that energy. Then imagine what it would be like to be 10 times more sensitive, which is what we are when we leave the shell of this physical body, according to Buddhist teachings. So then imagine that people that have true love and compassion for you and a one-pointed concentrated mind are praying for you and sending love and light and guidance to you while you're in this confused, hypersensitive state without a physical body. So it's possible to imagine how much negative thoughts or positive thoughts could affect us in that state, which we find ourselves in when we've left this physical body behind, which we call the state of the bardo, or the intermediary state. So, understanding that as a basis, Khadro gives us some instructions of how to meditate for the deceased. So, this section of the sadhana was written by Chagdud Rinpoche to provide a method by which Tara practitioners can benefit the deceased. Those who have accomplished Tara practice thoroughly, even in this concise format, have established the potential to gain their own liberation by recognizing the display that arises during death's transition as inseparable from Tara's enlightened form, speech, and mind. Or if one simply maintains devotion in the habit of prayer, as one traverses the intermediate state between death and birth, or the bardo, then merely invoking Tara's blessings by calling her name will release one from turmoil and uncertainty, either into Tara's pure realm or into a higher rebirth conducive to the continuation of one's Dharma path. Tara meditation, or the accomplishment of other relatively easy methods, such as the transverse of consciousness at the moment of death, or POA, should instill confidence in practitioners about their own death process. But the methods for liberating deceased friends, family members, and acquaintances are generally quite complicated and require a Vajra master skilled in the ritual. Nonetheless, to benefit the deceased, we may use this short, powerful, direct meditation, which relies on the interdependence of Tara's enlightened intention to rescue beings, the blessings of the Lama, the practitioner's love and compassion, and dedication of merit to the deceased. So, visualizing either Tara in the space in front of us or ourselves as Tara, we meditate that rainbow light shines forth from Tara's heart throughout the 6 realms in the bardo and envelop the deceased beings wherever they are, thereby purifying their karma and infusing them with Tara's radiant blessings. So it's important to remember at this point that karma is very subtle. Karma are subtle impressions on our unconsciousness or our mind stream. So you can't put karma on a scale and weigh it, or you can't take karma and cut it into little pieces and examine it, because it's subtle. So in order to purify karma, we need to use subtle methods of light, prayer, thought, energy, motivation. So in this case, light shines forth from Tara to all the deceased beings in the bardo, and that this light permeates their forms and their minds and purifies all of their negative karma, infusing them with Tara's radiant blessing. We make the light as bright and intense as possible. The more profound our realization of emptiness, the deeper is our experience that this is actually the case. Not merely imagining light washing over imaginary figures of the deceased, but mind's unobstructed quality of sheer clarity, encompassing the mind streams of the deceased, purifying and blessing them, bringing forth their natural radiance, which dissolves into Tara's enlightened expanse. This practice is done for 49 days after this person has passed away, which is usually the longest time that one is in the bardo before rebirth. After each session, we dedicate the merit of the practice, for whether the deceased is still in the bardo or has been reborn, the dedication will bring benefit to them. It's very important as we traverse this life of ours that we remember our death, but not just to be scared or neurotic, but to remember that it's inevitable, and then to make a plan of what we're going to do when it finally comes. Because one of the things that creates anxiety and fear in our minds is uncertainty. Well, what's going to happen? What's death like? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? So a large amount of our insecurity and fear is based on the fact that we don't have a good plan. It's like if you have to give a teaching or a class or some kind of a presentation at work and you're completely unprepared, you have anxiety. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to teach. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm not prepared. I didn't study the material. The same way, if we go through life without a plan, what we're going to do, how we're going to be, what we're going to think at the moment of our death, it can cause us anxiety throughout our entire life. And a lot of times, to avoid that anxiety, we fill our life up with hollow, frivolous activities simply to avoid the fear and anxiety that underlies our entire experience of being alive. So make a plan. Think it through. What are we going to do at the moment of death? Who are we going to pray to? What is our refuge? What will we visualize? Who do we want to see? Where do we want to go? Guru Rinpoche, Tara, our professor, Buddha Amitabha, all excellent choices. So set your mind, I will be reborn in Tara's Pure Land. I will be reborn in Amitabha's Pure Land, Dewa Chen. And then every day, remind yourself, my mind, if something happens to me today, I will go to Amitabha's Pure Land. I will see Amitabha's face, or Guru Rinpoche, or my teacher, or Tara. And set your mind, and you'll find that your fear and anxiety fades away, and confidence takes that place.